Hello everyone and welcome to Season Watch. Today we're watching Orient, episode 12. This is it. This is the final episode. Not quite, because we also learned there is a second core coming in July, I believe. Which, yeah, we'll be watching that. Just like next season, we're gonna be watching Komi. But if you want to help decide what the other shows we're gonna watch in these seasons, hop on Discord and just give the suggestions. I'm going to them blind, so who knows if they're gonna be good or bad if you guys don't help me decide. Now, back to Orient. Last episode had a nice closure. We had the end of the fight against Shiro with the help of the Obsidian Goddess. Then I'm trying to remember the events exactly. So we then have her power draining out. So Musashi was not actually able to use that black power, but in exchange, now he had a normal aura. So he was able to wield a Kitetsu blade again now. And his aura is red. As expected. Shiro actually got away using that dimensional cut technique of his, him and Nano, and they carried the Kishin's body with them. I don't know why. But setting up for their encounter in the future. What else was there? They set off on their adventure. Kojiro is now more motivated because he realized that his father actually left the village and actually participated as a bushi. So now he wants to find out more about that by experiencing the life of bushi himself. So that gave him more motivation, because till then he was basically being dragged by Musashi and their old dream. But now he's actually walking along Musashi. What else? I think that was about it, right? No, there is one important fact. The Obsidian Goddess and Josai, I think was his name, Kojiro's dad. They actually have some past together, and even Shiro was mentioning that he was actually a fugitive, that because a criminal that ran away with the Obsidian Goddess, using him as a host. And when he died, apparently he transferred that host to Musashi. So yeah, he was doing something big. And the Obsidian Goddess was even mentioned that like they were not done with what they were doing. So over time, maybe we'll learn that on the second core. But for this one, I have no idea what they're gonna do. One episode left. They did give a tease of a girl trapped with a slimy substance, maybe saliva. But yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, let's look into it, thanks. As a reminder, this is a timer reaction, which means you sync up your version of mine and we'll watch it together. I'll try to add some scenes here and there, but don't expect too much. With that being said, let's get started. In 3, 2, 1, go. A forest. A bit different from the last place we've been. Actually, Shiro was in a forest. And now they are too. Are they lost in the forest? Her calling him captain. How could they drive it? What? You want to try riding? Yeah, I want to try driving. But in all this water, Oh yeah, because they're familiar with it. I mean, in a way, it did help settle their spirits because they were fighting. That's not their hand.
おいおい、そろそろ話してくれていいんだぜ。
Uh, okay, that's a lot of hands. I'm sorry, what? A green oni, octopus jar.
小次郎、つべ。
Apparently, there are even plant onis. Oh yeah, somebody else, another bushi, because they were holding a kitetsu blade. But now he has a kitetsu blade of his own. Emma's Odachi. Aw, come on. I was hoping to at least see a little technique with it before opening. That's fine. We can just wait till after the opening. I'm gonna miss this opening though. But that's not a problem anymore. There it is. That's the part. Not on Shiro. But now it's showing Kojiro use Kitetsu Blade, but now Musashi also has one. So Kojiro has to step up. Because Musashi already had techniques without it. And of course he's using a great sword. Because he's more about power. Yeah, the crystal, the gem again. Oh, that's in the valley. But yeah, you remember something that I completely forgot, that all the Onis have a crystal, like a horn. Are we gonna see it? Or just a normal cut? Oh no! I'm not sure how that worked. Created like a crystal and a gem in front, and then it blasted the beam. And he got the XP. That's Sugami. Yeah, our blades. What about the other guy? Or is it even a guy? No, I just realized. Could be the girl that we got the preview. Are these even alive? Oh, they're removing? I think that's a girl. Oh, yeah. Is she the older type? Is she a bit older than you, Musashi? First thing she sees, her savior with the light backdrop. The music, like the piano. The When did he get cut? Oh, she has like horns, or is that just the hairstyle? I just realized that. I honestly don't know if that's like a hairstyle, because now they're downwards. I think they were upwards before. See, now they're forward. Maybe that's just a hairstyle.
綺麗な人だな。
え？
もう大丈夫か？怪我は？
え？武蔵も小次郎もテレテレしちゃって、今頃脳内はお花畑に違いないわ。
The birds are singing right now. I'm still normal enough. But yeah, Tsugumi was just like, wait, my spot, that's the cute girl is going, it's been gone. He's, okay. So she's part of a Bushi band, like in pair.
そんなやんごとないお方がこんな密林をうろついたりするもんですかね。
Of course.
そこの御人、お名前を伺いたいと姫様
Why
が
is
申し
she
ております。
whispering now? Tsugumi wants none of that. Nobumitsu. Saruwatari. Michiru. That's a lot of names going on. Yeah, first we heard of that. Saruwatari Mitsu. Like a carriage? Yeah. She became serious now. And he's still focusing on her.
お前たちには見えないのか。この場の断絶した気まずい空気が。こういう不自然な空気には耐えられねえ。だから打ち解けてみせるぜ。いやー、俺たち
I think Tsugumi's gonna take it another way.
君が森の地図を持ってて助かったぜ。返事をしてくれ。
あれ？
It really looks like he's trying to hit on her. And nothing. Oh, okay, maybe we got something. And then he started talking. Uesugi Michiru from Saruwatari, I think.
君はどんな剣術を使うんだ？武士ならば剣の話には食いついてくるはず。上杉連合ってのは何なんだ？
ああ、同盟のことよ。武士団同士のね。
おい、話題を奪うなよ。何度も横から。
何よ。
俺は今ミチルに話しかけてんだよ。
Yeah, now.
覚えててくれたの。
I remember too, but what's surprising of remembering her name? She was more surprised about him remembering her name. How? That guy is fired because he was supposed to be taking care of her and he let her fall like this. Lapis Lazuli Lotus. It's... yeah, it's like a parasol.
お前の季節刀すげえな。
I was wondering if it was a blade that allowed them to fly.
私が季節刀を使えるようになった時、お父様もそうやって褒めてくれたの。
笑った。
Okay, the truth is. Okay.
子守
いつも G と2人きりだからさっきみたいに3人以上になるとどこに
That's why she was whispering to the Chamberlain instead of
全
talking.
然わからなかったのよ。
あれそういうことだったのか
Yeah, that look, it made her seem like she was mad. Yeah, like I was saying, it did look like she was mad. Oh yeah, because south would be the sea, right? Uh-huh. What? It's dominated by the Onis? Like it's a complete Kishin territory? Or it's literally just blackness. How have we never noticed that? That's a Kishin. All those black legs from the black mist.
壁が動いてる何なんだよこの黒いのは
This is the first Oni. Okay, yeah, I remember that part in the first episode. Like, even the people working on the fields. A little difference from what we saw there. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, we kind of seen that. Mm. So the worshiping ones are all mining towns. A Kishin that covers half of the country. That is crazy. One that occupies half of the country. The Black Kishin. Understandable. Each day it goes by, it gets even harder to defeat it. If right now it's half, I can imagine that it can grow to be the whole country. Yeah. Maybe not a person, but an alliance between all Bushis. The 5 great generals.
五血将
はい天下統一に最も近い5人です
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now they're wondering if their mentors knew about the stuff. The Kishin names and traits. And the traits.
ならみんな持ってる。なんで親父がそれを持ってるんだよ。
Maybe.
なんでって小次郎のお父さんが武士団
Yeah,
の
like
からじゃないの？違うの？
since he was the one carrying, maybe he was the captain.
外の世界と。
あら、この巻物顔が入ってるじゃないの。
顔？
署名のことよ。
Like, all this stuff is simple for her. Well, they were like, wait,
上杉のお殿様のものね。
それって
Lord of the
小次郎のお
Uesugi.
父さんは上杉武士団の武士だったんじゃないの？
Uesugi band. There's a bunch of different Bushi bands there. Because it's an alliance. A bunch of them. I don't know how many there are in this alliance. Yeah, they all have the green hair, the dark green hair. That's curious because they're probably all from the same place,
父上の言葉を覚えて
and they are all from the same place.
淡路島で鬼神の角を折った者に家督を譲るだろ。
秋広殿ならやってくれますよ。
What is that little block, wooden block? Kanetatsu. Is that her dad? Because the silhouette.
美作の大東鉱山で黒曜の女神を見たと。
Oh,
傘下の武士団から報告がありました。
they're familiar with the Obsidian goddess.
黒曜の女神。
Are we gonna see the Takeda band again? Oh, there's Nano. Yeah, he really only cares about Tetsu Blade. What? The black aura thing. The black crystal. What? They're communicating with her.
落ち着きませんよ。
The Obsidian Eight. There's Shiro.
任務っていやよ、ついに見つけたんだろ、黒曜の女神。 Feiroku. There's so many names in this episode. I'm not gonna remember any of this. His voice is very calm, which is worrying. Survival of the Kishin.
じゃあ早速回収に行こう。
次は正体を隠して近づけるものがいい。こいつみたいに考えなしに動いたらまた逃げられちゃいますからね。
Okay, so it's not just Shiro that's the opposition, but a whole group. So that means there are others that are probably as strong as Shiro there. And that guy seems like the leader. What?
いいのか俺のわがままに付き合わせちまって。わがままじゃねえよ。
家族のことを知りたいと
Yeah, so he's interested on the Uesugi band, right?
それに俺も親父さんのことが知りたい。
Yes, technically, not technically, but basically his dad as well.
どうしても親父のことが知りたいんだ。今まであの人が本当はどういう人なのかなんて。
Yeah, like until the end of the last episode, like, wait,
上杉のところ
we
へ行
ha
けば
he had been out of the city?
知れねえ。
What are you smelling? Ah, the smell of the sea. It's blue, not red. Oh, wait. That's where we finished the core? It's a very weird spot. We really should have stopped at episode 11. Very weird cut. It should have been 11 the first core, and then the next one, what, 13? I'm guessing it's 12, so adding this one will be 13. So they really should have separated that. I don't know why they decided to add this one the first core. Like, the last episode's ending was very perfect as a fitting finish. Which I'm guess that was the prologue. Like, now they got the pieces to get started. I'm just chilling with the music because this is probably the last time I'm gonna hear this ED, huh? That's right. Let's have even had the scene specifically. Like, it fits so perfectly, and they just messed it up adding this one. And now, yep. So that was Absol. Like, the ending, instead of having like a petite Orient, was the announcement of the second core. I still feel it's very weirdly separated. Like, the first core really should have been 11 episodes. They ended it perfectly last time. But they decided to add this one, maybe as a tease of what we're waiting for next season. Next core, sorry, because I believe they're both season 1. But let's go over what we got this season. Not this season, this episode. Then we'll go over the season, sure. This episode. So we met Michiru and her assistant. I forgot the name they gave for that profession. That role. From the Saruwatari tribe, Bend, I think. There was her dad, which I already forgot the name. And he's part of an alliance that they're forming. The Uesugi Alliance. And he's part of the 5 generals. Like, I believe they said the 5 generals are the 5 strongest Bushis. We got a glimpse of the Takeda band. Maybe they're also joining in, gonna be coming in to join this alliance. We got a glimpse of her, what I believe it's her dad, and he's actually familiar with the Obsidian Goddess, and he heard about that. So, curious, is that a good? Is that a bad thing? Probably a bad thing. Speaking of bad things, Nano was showing up, and we learned about the... I don't remember the name of the 8 people with the black crystal. But yeah, that group is after the Obsidian Goddess because they wanna... They're siding with the Kishin. So maybe that's also explains why the Kishin didn't disappear when he supposedly killed it. and why he took it away with him. Maybe they're somehow gonna heal it. I don't know how, but maybe just chucking more minerals in it. Who knows? But yeah, there's a bunch of others. It seems like one of them is the leader, which I would get that he's the strongest, which is kind of scary to think someone even stronger than Shiro. And I imagine many of them are as strong as Shiro as well. So that's the enemies we're gonna see other than the Kishins. And they're gonna be big trouble. Especially now that the Obsidian Goddess is in a slumber, so she can't help Musashi out like she did against Shiro. Because otherwise they would all be dead. What else? The princess, Michiru, is actually kind of shy and timid because of her state, of her reputation, kind of thing. So she's always been kind of by herself and her assistant. So she doesn't really know how to interact with other people. And her Kitetsu blade can be used as a parasol to glide down. Oh, I remember the Black Kishin. That's very important. That's the final goal. The thing that the Bushi need to defeat to be able to clear everything from the Onis and Kishin. Otherwise, they're definitely gonna come back. Because that thing's been around since the very beginning and has just kept growing and growing and growing to the point that it covers half of the country. That's insane. I feel like that's everything covered. Yeah, sure. So now let's talk about the season as a whole. So it has a couple weak points where, but it seems like ever since, yeah, after the Tsugumi arc, when we went to the place with all those Bushis, I think that's when it started to pick up, to really pick up. I mean, I was a bit interested before that, but I can completely understand people not really caring, find it generic. So we had, at the beginning, we learned about the people that worship the Onis and Kishin, and actually looked down the Bushi. So we thought that the Bushi were actually very rare. And like just a couple of rebels here and there. But they're actually quite common in the world. Just that we were looking at a place where it's not common. Because as was explained, the world was basically divided into those that worship the Oni to live under them, or those that fight the Oni. And we also learned that those that worship them all become mining towns to offer the ores to the Onis. So that's why that town was a mining town. We still don't know where Musashi's scythe came from, because that was a very unique trait of his compared to everyone else, and was quickly thrown out the window. That is such a weird thing. Like, they kept even showing the openings and EDs, and it was only around for like 2 episodes. What? So that's weird. Kojiro never was really fully determined. Sometimes he even declined on it and was backing away from it. And only last episode did he really start to ramp up that determination to actually participate, to be proactive as a Bushi. He never really realized that his dad actually went out the city, even though he had that's a mount and everything. So yeah, we saw Kishin for the first time, which was crazy, the transformation. from that chick thing, from that giant Azura thing. And we also met a actual Bushi band there, the Takeda band, I believe. And they showing how a bunch of people cooperating to fight the Kishin. And the goal of the Bushi, which is unifying the nation. Makes sense, and it's also, yeah, only one person will be able to do that. Otherwise, they won't be the one unifying the nation. Then we had Tsugumi's band, which was showing Hideo, which was very the dark side of it. No, rather, a way to put it was because there are two ways to look at Bushis. They fight to protect the people, and they fight to defeat the Oni. Tsugumi is on the side of fighting to protect, while Hideo was on the side of fighting to defeat. Which, as I mentioned during those episodes, kind of remind me of the Midoriya Bakugo thing in My Hero. Which, yeah, you kind of need both. Otherwise, it's never gonna progress smoothly. And he was getting desperate because they were losing their soldiers, so he was taking desperate measures. That part I can sympathize. The part I can't, it's how he manipulated Tsugumi and her sister. That was disgusting. And she was kind of able to defeat him with a certain ease once she used her Kitatsu blade. So that's okay. But then we reached the next part, and we had the whole thing about the auras, and then Musashi having that black aura, which stopped him from using any weapons. And then we learned that Shido and Nano, and that they also use that black aura, even though later we saw Nano using a green aura. But I guess in their case, not actual black aura, is the black crystal. Though I don't think we ever saw a aura from Shiro. Did we? Maybe he had a white one. I don't remember. We learned a bit more about Tetsu energy and everything. That was interesting, like the economy of the Bushi. And they all working together to try to find the Kishin and everything. That really got interesting there. And also about the Obsidian Goddess residing inside Musashi, which made him special. Of course, he's a protagonist. It's normal for the protagonist to be special. But right now she's in a slumber, so right now he's just Musashi. Just a normal Bushi. A very determined one, but a normal newbie Bushi. And yeah, that finished off with him actually being able to wield the Kitatsu blade, Kojiro being determined, they actually forming an official band with a name using Kojiro's last name, which I do not remember, is Kanejiro or something like that. And now we had a little tease of what's to come. So I will say that it feels like ramped up, though the beginning is very kind of weak, so I understand how people kind of drop it and stuff. But I enjoy it. I actually enjoy anime with ease, so maybe that helped as well. But yeah, I enjoy it. I'm gonna be looking forward for the second core coming out. Hopefully it will keep ramping up like it has been doing. But yeah, I think that's it. So with that being said, see you next time. Bye.